Joining us today for another enriching session of Golden Charcha. I am CA Rashi Sonthalia and I have the privilege of coordinating today's session. Golden Charcha has truly emerged as a golden initiative by EIRC, bringing cutting edge knowledge directly to our streets. This initiative reflects our commitment to continuous professional development and ensuring that every member of our fraternity stays equipped with the latest tools and techniques. Before we proceed, I would like to express a heartfelt gratitude to CA Vishnu Kumar Tulsian, our dynamic chairman of EIRC, whose visionary leadership and commitment to professional excellence has made initiatives like Golden Charcha possible. Sir, your leadership inspires us to reach greater heights, and Golden Charcha stands as a testament to your commitment to our professional community. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. I would like to hand over the mic to our chairman.
Thank you, Rasi, for giving me the opportunity to address virtually to my young brother, my young sisters, my friends on Golden Jubilee year, Golden Jubilee conference year, and this is Golden Charcha. The thought behind this Golden Charcha is how I can give the platform to benefit the maximum members of the Eastern India from village to town. Because during the time of my election, I found that many chartered accountants are very talented, but they hesitate to speak before the public. There was this public format. They don't want to discuss, they don't want to come into the front. So I thought why should not they be given the opportunity first to the virtually, and after that they can come to it physically also in the institute platform, because this is your institute. This is your institute. I am just for 1 year or 4 years like that. So this is nothing. I am just simply a trustee of this institutions to serve for 1 year. As chairman, and that's other very different also. And in this initiatives, I really appreciate Rasi, who just qualified the chartered accountancy, and he came to me and told, "Sir, I want to serve the institute." And really, I appreciate this Golden Charcha is at least harnessing at least 100 new chartered accountant across the Eastern India. Of course, Rohit is seasoned. He's after 2 years might be we have to take his appointment. But this is good. But for Rasi, it is very important that newly qualified chartered accountant hardly 1 month before, and she came with this attitude that I want to serve. So the objective is fulfilled. I am so contented that the objective which I thought is working on the ground. So thank you, Rasi, for coming forward. And I think you must keep up this attitude. And of course, you will grow a lot. We have with Alice for the special address, Rohit for the technical expertise. So thank you so much. And because Rohit is here, the expert, I can't say I should not speak anything. Otherwise, I will be caught faulty. So I will not speak anything. Thank you, Rasi. Thank you, Alish. Thank you, Rohit. Only one appeal. Golden Jubilee conference is there. It is yours conference. I'm only the worker here, just like you all. Please come. Please support. Please spread the words. And please come on the ground and make it a successful, grand success, because this is a Golden Jubilee conference. It will never come again. नेक्स्ट में 51 आएगा, लेकिन 50वां नहीं आएगा. सही बात. 50वां से प्लेटिनम में 75वें साल में आएगा. जब तो ये 25 साल का जो गैप है ना, उसको भी कर डालो. सही कर दोगे, नाम रहेगा हम लोग का भी, अच्छा लगेगा अपने इंडिया को एक नेशनल लेवल तक जाके पाए. हमें लोकल इंडस्ट्री, लोकल लोगों को, लोकल कल्चर को सपोर्ट करना है. तब जाके जब तक कुछ वैल्यू एडिशन नहीं करेंगे ना सर, इंस्टीट्यूट का ऑब्जेक्टिव प्रोग्राम करवाना नहीं है. इंस्टीट्यूट का ऑब्जेक्टिव है एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करवाना, गवर्नमेंट से लाइजिंग करवाना. कैसे हम अपने प्रोफेशनल ब्रदर्स सिस्टर्स को हम कैसे इसको पुशअप कर पाए. जैसे ग्रूमिंग हो रही है, ग्रूमिंग ही हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि हमारे सीए सीएफओ बनेंगे. यदि वो गवर्नमेंट साल में जाके प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पाते हैं, अल्टीमेटली इंस्टीट्यूट बदनाम होती है सर. Hence, I want a capacity building. I want a hesitation-free person, and we are not less than MBA, but somehow we are sign nature. So this initiative is with that direction. So thank you, Rashi. Thank you, Rohit. And without wasting time, I am handing over to Rashi once again for the taking the session ahead.
Thank you, sir. So our topic for today is GST Appellate Tribunal, the way forward, and our special addressee for today is CA Alice Singh. I would like her to speak a few words on the topic.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to wish everyone a very good evening and a very happy Diwali. Thank you to Vishnu sir for having me on board of this Golden Charcha session, and Rashi for introducing me. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to today's technical webinar on GST Appellate Tribunal, the way forward. So giving a few bites about this, the establishment of the GST Appellate Tribunal makes a significant and long-awaited milestone in the evolution of the India's indirect tax framework. Since the implementation of GST, stakeholders have always been anticipating a specialized and structured forum for fair, efficient, and uniform adjudication of disputes under the GST law. Now, as the tribunal begins to take shape across these states, it becomes essential for all of us as professionals, taxpayers, and administrators to understand both these procedural framework and the practical nuances of emerging with it effectively. So, not taking much of the time, let us understand about today's session and gain the valuable clarity and direction on how this GST Appellate Tribunal is set to shape the next phase of the dispute resolution under GST, and how we as chartered accountants can contribute to ensuring its smooth and effective functioning. With that, let's begin the insightful journey, or handing over to you, Rashi, so that Rohit sir can take a part.
Thank you, ma'am. So, today's speaker is CA Rohit Prasad. He's a practicing chartered accountant renowned for his strong expertise in GST compliance and litigation across India. He holds the prestigious qualification of Certified Forensic Auditor and a Diploma in Information System Audit, both awarded by ICAI. Currently, he serves as a co-opted member of the GST and Indirect Taxes Committee of Eastern India Regional Council of ICAI. CA Rohit Prasad has began his professional journey with EY as a senior auditor executive, and over the years has gained extensive experience serving clients across various sectors such as FMCG, manufacturing, and service. He has addressed numerous seminars and workshops on GST across India and regularly contributes insightful articles to ICAI publications, promoting greater clarity and awareness on GST matters. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Over to you, sir, for continuing the session.
Thank you, Rashi, so much. And firstly, heartiest congratulations on completing your CA, one of the toughest examinations in India.
Thank you,
And
sir.
all the best for your future endeavors. My heartfelt thanks to our very own, very delightful person, Mr. Vishnu Kumar Tulsian, the chairman of EIRC, for taking such an initiative of doing a Golden Charcha seminar like on the 50th regional conference. And I think all the committee members have been thriving for this. And I think we should all, it's my earnest request to all the members and all the panelists joining this Golden Charcha, they should join this regional conference of 50th of EIRC and take it way forward. And my heartfelt thanks to my dear friend Alice Singh for coming as a special addressee. And it's an honor to speak in front of her because I've always been looking up to her in many ways. And thank you so much. So, firstly, I would like to start this session. It's a appellate tribunal, the way forward. So whenever I say it's a way forward, right? It's a general perceptions comes like कि इसके बाद क्या होगा? What is the way, right? So this is what the things look like. But the presentation will be divided in two parts. Let me be very honest with my 11 participants. I think it's an Indian team. We are feeling 11 people right now in my participation. So we'll be divided in these two parts. First part will be completely into the procedures of the tribunal, and the second part will be exactly the filing of the GST appellate tribunal form. So how the appellate tribunal we are login and everything. So my dear mates, I would request you, if you have not done any filing of GST yet, okay, so don't worry. I'll make sure that we run through this whole topic in an hour. So basically the whole topic is completely into like, yeah. So the whole topic is basically is into like sharing few things or the other in terms of like what we say. Just a second, yeah. I think my screen is visible. Alice, just can you confirm me once? Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So the whole topic is basically into the GST Appellate Tribunal. So let me start with the first thing. The first notification of the Appellate Tribunal came on the 24th of April 2025, where the notification established the rules of the Appellate Tribunal. So what is GST Appellate Tribunal? how we should file the appellate tribunal forms and everything. So we'll get an overview of it, and I'll share I will request each and every one of you, just listen to me. We don't need to do any like jotting down or everything. I'll share the PPT with my dear friend Alice and Rashi as well, so that can be communicated to you at the opportune time. So let me start with this simple thing, which is yeah. So the first and the foremost thing I would start off is how come the appellate tribunal comes, right? So this is something which I'm looking forward. So what happens in GST? GST में क्या होता है कि आपके पास नोटिस आता है, आप उसको रिप्लाई करते हो, ऑफिसर सेटिस्फाई होता है, डिमांड ड्रॉप होता है, जनरली ऑफिसर सेटिस्फाई नहीं होते हैं, whether it's a male or a female, फिर वो ऑर्डर पास होता है, right? So this is what the protocol is. So I will tell you the forms and everything. So first we start with a scrutiny notice, that is ASMT 10. You get a simple notice or a letter of scrutiny of your returns under section 61. So आपको SMT 10 आता है, फिर आप 11 में रिप्लाई करते हो, okay? So if you reply in SMT 11, suppose within a period of 15 days, 20 days, 25 days, depends upon the officer कि वो आपको कितने दिन का time दे रहा है. If the officer is satisfied with your reply in SMT 11, the notice gets dropped in SMT 12. So ये पहला chronology आप समझिए. SMT 10 is a notice, reply 11 में गया, 12 में drop हो गया. 90% ऑफ द केसेस में SMT 12 से रिप्लाई ड्रॉप नहीं होता है, बिकॉज पर्सनल हियरिंग होता नहीं है, और जब तक आप एक बार वार्तालाप करते नहीं हो ऑफिसर से, तब तक उनको समझ में नहीं आता है कि आप बोलना क्या चाह रहे हो, है ना? सो जब वो सपोज वो ड्रॉप नहीं होता है, तो वो क्या करते हैं, DRC 01A का एक नोटिस इशू करता है. That is intimation to the taxpayer. They say that whatever reply you have given, we are not satisfied with your reply, and they intimate you with a tax thing. Now, suppose DRC 01A is issued in Part A, you have to reply in DRC 01A Part B, right? This Part B. So once they is satisfied, your matter gets dropped. But if they are not satisfied, आपको DRC 01 मिलता है, जहाँ पे आपको बोला जाता है कि we are not satisfied with your reply. So first was SMT 10, 11, 12, finish. DRC 01A, Part A, notice, Part B में reply, Part 5 में आपका फिर DRC 01A, reply not satisfied. Then DRC 01A के बाद you have to reply in DRC 6. If they say that we are satisfied, generally this level पे we known as adjudication level. So if the authorized officer is satisfied with you, they get the dropped at DRC 5. If they're not satisfied, you have to file DRC 07. So DRC 07 is known as the adjudicating order, the main authority order, what we say in adjudicating order, जहाँ से your area comes into a closure and then the appeal forum starts. So last time I did a GST Golden Charcha for the first appellate authority, right? This time I'm doing for the appellate tribunal. So appellate authority में क्या होता है? Once you receive DRC 07 का order in GST, you have to file an appeal. Appeal means what? Appeal to the higher forum. क्या होता है ना? Like whenever you brother sister is fighting, they go to Papa, right? Papa नहीं तो mummy. So this is how this things also works, right? So there is appeal forum. For appeal forum, you have to file APL 01, and then they acknowledge the APL 02, and then the appeal forum gets. Suppose in the first appellate authority, mention my, try to understand my words which I'm pointing at, because each and every word will have a different significance in this webinar. So the first appellate authority is not satisfied with your reply. They will pass an order. The order is known as appellate authority order. That is APL 04. Once you receive an order, तो आप सोचेंगे कि सर एक बार अपील और फर्स्ट अपीलेट में रिजेक्ट हो गया तो मुझे क्या करना है. सो नाउ द ट्राइब्यूनल गेट्स ओपन. सो ट्राइब्यूनल, फिर हाई कोर्ट एंड फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट. So my dear chartered accountants is allowed, if they have only chartered accountants into practice or maybe anything, so they are allowed to represent up to tribunal level. Tribunal के ऊपर में only advocates are allowed. So lot of chartered accountants have earlier has a great scope in this working in this tribunal level earlier. Right now, so now in the sequence you got it. आपको 7 का DRC 07 मिला, adjudicating order, you went to the appeal में भी लोग first appellate authority में नहीं समझे, you get an order at APL 04. Now the tribunal gate reopens for you. So am I clear on this matters? Yeah. So now what happens? The tribunal gate open. So now the tribunal, once tribunal starts, so what are the consequences of non-formation of a tribunal? So let me be very honest with you. So tribunal, the notification came in 24th April 2025, right? GST Act portal. So generally क्या होता है, whatever we do in GST, we log into GST.in and all, right? But for the tribunal, GSTAT, इसको हम लोग shortcut में GSTAT बोलेंगे. I won't be saying tribunal every time. So GSTAT is made and they have a separate login credentials. So if you want to log into GSTAT, you have to go for e-filing gstat.in.gov.in, right? And they have a separate login portal and everything, particularly for separate things. So right now, 24th September, the GSTAT portal was launched by our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay, no, so now the filing of the appeal has been started. Though the portal has not been working very effectively and efficiently, as we all know, the government portal at times, it doesn't work like in a very good way in the first couple of months, and then the effectiveness and the efficiency gets developed. So what is the reason for non-formation has led to piled up of a lot of orders in second appeal. Okay, so once the blockage of pre-deposit are also there. So what happens whenever you go to an appeal forum? So the government suppose आपने 100 करोड़ का आपका order आया हुआ है, right? और आपको फर्स्ट अपील में जाना है. So the government says कि tax का 10% you have to pay. So you pay 100 crore का 10%, that is 10 crore. And then you have to go to first appellate authority. Suppose first appellate authority with the government, the officer is not satisfied with your reply, they reject it completely. Then again you have to pay additional 10%. So now your 20 crore is getting blocked till the time your tribunal matter doesn't start. So lot of blockage of pre-deposit. किसी का 20 crore बंद block हो जाता है appeal में, so it becomes a working capital problem. So this is one of the reasons why the appellate tribunal needs to be formed, because a lot of people after receiving a first appeal authority negative adverse order, they are directly filing to the High Court for a writ petition and all. So there are a lot of pressure on the High Court as well for this matter. Okay, now we are decoding this section in a different way altogether. So the section 112. So the section 112, who can file the appeal? That is what I'm like saying. So you have to read this section with me, because this is something which is different than first appellate authority. So the section 112 says a different thing, and section 117 is a first appellate authority order. Section 112 says any person agreed by an order passed against him. So once you see against him under section 107, 108, so he needs to file to the appellate tribunal. Now let's read the section 107, which says any person aggrieved by any decision or order passed under this act or state goods and service tax may go for the first appellate authority. Now you have to understand one dynamics very importantly, that is key. Once you get any aggrieved order of the first appellate authority, okay, and if the order is against you yourself, only then you can go to the tribunal. Suppose I'm giving you an example. There is a supplier, there is a recipient, there is a truck driver, even transporter, ठीक है? आपने एक मैटर एडजुडिकेट हुआ और ट्रांसपोर्टर के अगेंस्ट में ऑर्डर पास हुआ, फर्स्ट अपीलेट अथॉरिटी पास किया. क्या सप्लायर अपील में जा सकता है ट्राइब्यूनल में? नहीं. The section itself says any person agreed by an order passed against him. So only the driver, only the GTA transporter can go to the appellate tribunal, not the recipient, not the supplier. But first appellate authority, the lower forum, then appellate tribunal, वहाँ पे क्या लिखा? Any person agreed by any decision or order passed against any act can go to the appeal. So in this case, each one of the party can go to the appellate authority. So what I'm trying to tell you, it's a decoding the sections, decoding the law so that you can easily get a viewpoint of it. And my dear friends, I'm telling you on a serious note, very seriously, if you have not studied a single page about tribunal, don't worry. This next 30 minutes will be a roller coaster ride for you guys. I'll be decoding each and every important key sections with you so that you can get at least the overview of what is the tribunal is all about and how to go ahead with it. Okay, so few orders are non-appealable orders. What is non-appealable orders? Suppose appellate authority, first appellate authority, I'm telling you 80 is GST 80 and first appellate authority FAA. Suppose you received an order from FFA, right? Regarding 4 things. So you will tell client आया सर बोला कि सर मेरा एक order है ऐसा उसको ट्राइब्यूनल में लेकर जाना है, ट्राइब्यूनल में फाइल करना है, तो आप बोलेंगे हाँ हाँ ट्राइब्यूनल फाइल हो जाएगा, 10% प्री डिपॉजिट, मेरा 50,000 का बिलिंग, और हम लोग ट्राइब्यूनल पे लेके जाएंगे, राइट। बट देयर आर 4 exceptions, जिस ऑर्डर को आप ट्राइब्यूनल पे लेके नहीं जा सकते। The first is order issued under Section 80. Section 80 itself says that a commissioner, on the want of itself, may allow you given you 24 months of time for installments. आपका कोई ऑर्डर है, सपोज 24 लाख का पेमेंट करना था, आपने कमिश्नर में रिक्वेस्ट किया, कमिश्नर ने बोला मैं आपको 24 मंथ का इंस्टॉलमेंट देता हूँ, आप उसमें इंस्टॉलमेंट पेमेंट कर दीजिए। आप आपको 24 मंथ नहीं चाहिए, आपको 48 मंथ चाहिए, तो आप उस कमिश्नर के ऑर्डर पे अपील नहीं जा सकते। ओके, सपोज कोई ऑफिसर ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रोसीडिंग, एक ऑफिसर एक बिल्डिंग एक ऑफिसर से लेके दूसरे ऑफिसर में दिया, प्रोसीडिंग्स ट्रांसफर हुआ, आप जाके बोलेंगे अपीलेट ट्राइब्यूनल में कि सर नहीं, मिस्टर ए से मिस्टर बी में गया, आई एम गोइंग फॉर द ट्राइब्यूनल अपील कि ये ट्रांसफर नहीं होना चाहिए था प्रोसीडिंग्स, तो इस चीज़ का भी आप अपील में नहीं जा सकते। कोई प्रोसिक्यूशन है, आप अपील में जीएसटी में नहीं जा सकते, आप सिविल क्रिमिनल कोड एंड इसमें जा सकते हैं। कोई भी सीजर डिटेंशन ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स होता है, सपोज आपके यहाँ पे रेड हुआ by DCI or any commissionerate office and all, they seize your documents like books and everything, right? So for that particular seizure, you cannot go to the tribunal level immediately until the adjudication and everything starts. So there are 4 exceptions for which you cannot go to the tribunal level at all. कोई भी इंस्टॉलमेंट वाला मैटर, कोई भी प्रोसीडिंग्स ट्रांसफर फ्रॉम वन ऑफिसर टू वन ऑफिसर, कोई भी प्रोसिक्यूशन हो गया, आपको अरेस्ट किया क्रिमिनल या सिविल क्रिमिनल केसेस में, या कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स या सर्च सीजर में अटका हुआ है, सो यू कैन नॉट गो फॉर द ट्राइब्यूनल। सो आपको कभी भी ऐसा नहीं करना है कि आप ये चारों मैटर में कभी ले लिए ट्राइब्यूनल में जाना है और पता चला ट्राइब्यूनल खुला ही नहीं है, एंटरटेन ही नहीं कर रहा है। सो मेक श्योर दैट डजंट हैपन। ओके, सो what is the time limit? So time limit in GST is very important. What is the time limit? The time limit in itself is 3 months from the date of the order. Right. Now there are few exceptions, few things to understand. Section 169 says how the order we have received. Like if we have received from by email, by courier, by uploading on the portal. So अगर मैं बताता हूँ 3 सिनेरियो आपको, अगर आपने ऑर्डर रिसीव किया ईमेल के थ्रू, सो ईमेल का जो डेट रहेगा जिस दिन आपने ईमेल रिसीव किया, उसके विद इन 3 मंथ्स में आपको फाइल करना है। ओके, सपोज आपने पोर्टल में रिसीव किया, पोर्टल में समरी ऑर्डर, देयर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्डर, वन इज द डिटेल्ड ऑर्डर, वन इज द समरी ऑर्डर। सो दोनों का डेट जनरली 90% ऑफ द टाइम सेम रहता है। सो जो डेट ऑफ ऑर्डर लिखा रहता है उसके 3 मंथ्स के अंदर में यू हैव टू गो फॉर द अपील। ओके, द थर्ड इज पोस्ट। सो वंस यू रिसीव द पोस्ट ऑन द डेट ऑफ द ऑर्डर, वहां से आपको 3 मंथ्स के अंदर में यू हैव टू गो फॉर द सर। आपके पास कोई क्लाइंट आता है, सर बोला सर टैक्स इंटरेस्ट टैक्स वैक्स लेके मेरा 45,000 का मैटर है, मुझे ट्राइब्यूनल में जाना है, राइट। सो as on date admission criteria can be rejected for 50,000 below का matter in tribunal. So any matter above 50,000 would be entertained by the tribunal as on date, but it can have a different perception or maybe any kind of changes will be there, because tribunal is a serious bench and matters below 50,000 they won't be entertaining in tribunal as well. So there are 45 days of cross objection. So what happened? I'll tell you in detail about this cross objection later slides. So what is the continuation of delay? So within 3 months, you have to file an appeal. Okay, so suppose you didn't file the appeal within 3 months, so you can extend for more 3 months. So there is an extension of 3 months plus 3 months for the extension. So within 6 months, you can file an appeal. So a lot of time what happens, the government get an adverse order. Suppose आपके client के favor में order आया, but department के against में आया, right? So department can also go for the appellate tribunal filing. So the department can give time के होता 3 plus 3 months, same like that. What is memorandum of cross objection? So what happens? Suppose there was an order, right? When the first appellate authority, there was order of about 10 crores. It gets dropped by the first appellate authority. उन्होंने पूरा drop कर दिया 10 करोड़ का। ट्राइब्यूनल वाला बोला, डिपार्टमेंट बोला नहीं ऐसा तो होना नहीं चाहिए, विल गो फॉर द अपीलेट ट्राइब्यूनल। तो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, विद इन 3 मंथ्स में वो ट्राइब्यूनल पे फाइल करता है, ठीक है, अपील के लिए फाइल किया फर्स्ट अपीलेट 80 के पास में। फिर आपको वहां से आता है कि आपको क्रॉस ऑब्जेक्शन फाइल करना है कि आप ट्राइब्यूनल में क्यों इसको बोलना चाह रहे हैं, ये आपका यहाँ पे नहीं होना चाहिए, राइट। So there is a cross objection period. There is only 45 days of limit. So when the department goes for the appeal in a tribunal level, you get 45 days to file a cross objection. That you want to object the government कि this should not be implicated or maybe adjudicated in 10 crores and it should be dropped at this level. So it's very important to understand what is it. Now what is the prerequisite of filing an appeal? So client आके बहुत बार ऐसा बोलता है हमें कि सर 10 करोड़ का मैटर है, वी डोंट हैव 1 CR, ओके, सो हमको पर ट्राइब्यूनल में जाना बिकॉज आई थिंक मेरा मैटर निकल जाएगा. So is it possible for anyone to go to tribunal without paying pre-deposit? It's absolutely impossible for anyone to go to tribunal without paying deposit until some special permission is given to that person, which generally doesn't happen in this GST practice as on date. So suppose if I'm telling you, let's go with an example of a very simple thing. Tax is 10 crore, okay, interest is 5 crore, penalty is 5 crore. So the total amount is 20 crore, right? Now you have to pay 10%. What is 10% of tax and dispute? So 10% of only 10 crore, that is of tax, you have to pay pre-deposit. It's not about 10% of the 20 crore you have to pay, right? Only the tax amount which is litigated. आपका interest वहाँ पे अगर 20 crore भी हो, 50 crore भी हो, penalty, whatever amount it is, you don't need to pay any single amount on that. You just need to pay 10% of the tax and dispute in addition to what you have paid in first appellate authority. So what do you have? Now just giving you a brief about the what I have shared with you guys. अपने एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी का ऑर्डर पास हुआ तो फर्स्ट अपीलेट में 10% पेमेंट किया, फिर ट्राइब्यूनल में जाना है, फिर एडिशनल 10%. सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव द कंफ्यूजन कि सर हमने अपील फर्स्ट अपीलेट में दे दिया 10%, अब हमको ट्राइब्यूनल में देना पड़ेगा क्या? यस, आपको ट्राइब्यूनल में भी देना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस इन ट्राइब्यूनल कि ट्राइब्यूनल में फॉर एनी एप्लीकेशन फॉर फाइलिंग एंड ऑल देयर इज अ नॉमिनल फी ऑफ ₹5,000 which needs to be paid by person. Now this is a small case study which I have prepared for you guys to understand कि appellate tribunal कैसे होता है. So a lot of people in our practice also fear of representing themselves in the tribunal level because one of the reasons they are not able to appear that tribunal level because it's a very sensitive and you get very less time to speak and defend your matter. So the first case I'm telling you, suppose आप एक taxpayer है and you received an adverse order. Okay, you are a taxpayer received an adverse order. So you are an appellant. Respondent कौन होगा? आप अपील में जब जाएंगे तो taxpayer, आप सिर्फ केस 1 को देखेंगे. आप एक appellant है, taxpayer है, आप अपील ऑर्डर आपके नेगेटिव में आया था फर्स्ट अपीलेट अथॉरिटी का, आप appellant बने, आपने अपील ट्राइब्यूनल में फाइल किया. डिपार्टमेंट रिस्पॉन्डेंट है. अब डिपार्टमेंट, आप जैसे अपील फाइल करेंगे, डिपार्टमेंट 45 डेज के अंदर में क्रॉस ऑब्जेक्शन फाइल करेगा कि आपको ये चीज़ हम इसके विरोध करते हैं, ये मेरा ग्राउंड, ये मेरा पॉइंट्स है. रिप्रेजेंटेटिव एंड ट्राइब्यूनल, देयर टू रिप्रेजेंटेटिव. जनरली क्या होता है, हम लोग कोई भी फोरम में जाते हैं, वेदर फर्स्ट अपीलेट अथॉरिटी, एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी, वहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ऑफिसर होता है और मैं होता हूँ. बट इन ट्राइब्यूनल लेवल देयर इज अ टैक्सपेयर इन द डिपार्टमेंट. सो आपके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव भी खड़े रहेंगे, वहाँ डिपार्टमेंट के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव रहेंगे, एंड देयर बी 2 benches, a single bench person who will listen the matter. So it is actually like a courtroom. You get 2 podium, the bench is there, and then both the people will be heard for and against, and then the bench will decide whom to get into the favor. So in case 2 what happens, डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो फाइल कर गया ट्राइब्यूनल में, बोला कैसे 10 करोड़ का नोटिस ड्रॉप हो जाएगा, आई विल गो विद द ट्राइब्यूनल. सो डिपार्टमेंट बिकम्स द अपीलेंट. रिस्पोंडेंट कौन हो गया? टैक्स पेयर, बिकॉज आप उसमें रिस्पॉन्स करेंगे विद इन 45 डेज, यू हैव टू फाइल अ क्रॉस ऑब्जेक्शन, एंड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव विल बी डिपार्टमेंट एंड टैक्स पेयर. सो आपको भी मौका मिलेगा जब डिपार्टमेंट ट्राइब्यूनल में जाता है, सो यू विल ऑल्सो गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ बीइंग हर्ड and defends the matter in tribunal. So this is something which is very important for you to understand ki who will be the appellant and who will be the respondent, right? And who will be filing the cross objection and representative. आपको दोनों को मिलना चाहिए, दोनों मिलता है. So GSTAT portal, I have told you right now, the GSTAT portal has been started on 24th September, and there is a separate login ID will be given to all the persons who will be representing the matter in terms of taxpayer or maybe any authorized representative of this matter. Okay, so few computation of the days, like I was telling you, the 3 months के अंदर में you have to file an appeal, 3 plus 3 months. So if the start date is not counted or last day's holidays are not counted and the further consecutive also excluded. So if any like आपको कल जैसे कल भाई फोटा है, right? So कल suppose the GST is closed and the officially closed, so that day won't be counted. So next day we can include into 3 months. So just giving you a brief about the sitting hours. So tribunal sits 10:30 to 1:30 and from 2:30 to 4:30. The sitting hours of the tribunal is like this. So इसके बीच में आपका hearings होता है matter में. right? In Calcutta, the tribunal is being set up in a place called Remount Road. That's in Mominpur. The bench has been decided. So there are total 31 benches across India, which has been setting up, plus a principal bench at the New Delhi, which will be handling the place of supply matters. Okay, so the administrative office is generally open from 9:30 to 6:30, subject to the order of the president. Okay, so now this is something which I want to just share. A lot of people who have not been into, like, what do you say? Yeah. So a lot of people have not seen tribunal or kaisa hota hai, nahi hota hai, and how these things work. So if you have filed any appeal, right, before 12 noon, it may be a complete urgent matter. It will be listed on the next working day. So आपने कोई भी urgent matter ट्राइब्यूनल में आज फाइल किया, वो कल आपका लिस्ट हो जाता है. और कोई भी मैटर आपने 12 से 3 तक फाइल किया और आपको अर्जेंट मैटर में एक्सेप्ट करवाना होता है, तो वो हो सकता है ओनली इफ द अपीलेट ट्राइब्यूनल और द प्रेसिडेंट गिव्स द परमिशन. ओके, सो व्हाट इज द, आप बोलते हैं ना कि लाइक ट्राइब्यूनल का सर मेरे पास अगर हियरिंग नोटिस आएगा या फिर आपके पास कोई भी ऑर्डर आया, सो हाउ इट विल बी गेटिंग कम्युनिकेटेड टू यू. सो देयर इज सेक्शन 169 ऑफ द एक्ट विच सेज कि आपको ट्राइब्यूनल का कोई भी नोटिस, कोई भी ऑर्डर बाय वे ऑफ ईमेल, बाय वे ऑफ पोस्ट, बाय वे ऑफ ईमेल आईडी, any section 169 says multiple things of delivery of the thing, so आपको कैसे भी वो ऑर्डर मिल सकता है. So this is important. This is a important thing that suppose आपने online file, can you waiting for the online thing only? So I think that won't be possible because you can get through what you say through email also कि एक post के through आ गया कि सर आपका ये order है tribunal का and all those things. So the composition of the principal and the state bench is divided in two parts. The principal bench is president, judicial member, technical member, and technical member. State bench is judicial member, technical member state, and technical member center. So they are generally क्या होता है कि single member, if any tax or ITC is less than or equal to 50 lakh rupees, so it's a single member bench, and if there's no question of law is involved, no place of supply matter is involved, approval of the president is there, so you get a single member bench. कोई भी amount जहाँ पे 50 lakh से कम होता है, so you get a single member. Lot of time what happens कि दो member का bench है, suppose there are two members sitting, right? So in case of difference of opinion, कोई भी एक मैटर हुआ कि एक बेंच, एक जज का कहना है ऐसा, एक जज का कहना है ऐसा. So if there is a difference of opinion during hearing of appeal, the appeal shall be referred to a large bench by the president. So there are few large bench and few the circuit benches which we say. So few matters आपके large bench पे refer हो सकते हैं president को अगर कहीं पे difference of opinion होता है. Suppose आपका original hearing was state bench पे, ठीक है, दो जज था, दोनों ने बोला नहीं इस पे 10 करोड़ का पेनल्टी लगना चाहिए, इस पे बोला 10 करोड़ का पेनल्टी नहीं लगना चाहिए. टू पर्सन्स, राइट, इन अ फैमिली हम लोग देखते हैं 2 पर्सन में अलग अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू आता है, तो जजेस में भी होता है इन कोर्ट्स एंड ऑल. सो अगर कोई स्टेट बेंच का मैटर है और दो जज अलग अलग चीज बोल रहा है, सो ओरिजिनल हियरिंग वाज वन स्टेट बेंच, so that matter will be referred to another state bench within state or outside state. अगर कोई difference of opinion में principal bench हुआ है, right, and that matter can also be referred to any other principal bench of that any state bench, right? So कोई भी state bench का matter जहाँ पे difference of opinion आता है, so आपको shift कर सकते हैं. principal bench का भी matter आता है, so वो भी हम लोग shift कर सकते हैं. So suppose I am a practicing chartered accountant, I want to represent my client in tribunal, so I need to submit वकालतमा memorandum of opinions, letter of authorization. इन तीनों में से कुछ ही मुझे वहाँ पे सबमिट करना पड़ेगा on the portal. Only then I am authorized to attend that thing as a authorized representative of that matter. So a written consent is also important. आप मतलब you need to have proper duly stamped copy of memorandum of appearance or authorization. Only then you can represent against before the appellate tribunal. So yeah, so what happens? We have seen a lot of people of different fraternity, maybe any person of authorized. So we go to the adjudicating authority. I've seen people wearing jeans, shirt, well folded sleeves, and goes and represent the matter in GST authority के साथ and all those things. ठीक है, my dear people, so everyone has a different way of doing things, but in tribunal you have to be very serious about this because they have a particular protocol for that. So for male, black coat, and for female, black coat over a white sari or only white dress. that is the only rule, or else you won't be allowed inside the tribunal to attend the matter. See, this few things you will be thinking ki sir kya bata rahe hain? This is very basic. See, one, suppose you are prepared for a matter ekdam wholeheartedly, your day and night you have prepared, right? And you go with wearing a yellow sari or maybe like wearing a jeans or something like that sort of, right? And you're allowed to enter the matter, and then your matter is gone for a toss, right? It is adjourned for like about 1 year, 2 year also. So these few things are very important to understand the dynamics, how this works. Now, what is a presentation of appeal before the GSTAT? So what happens? This is the chronology which I have made, and I want to explain you something into detail about this. So appellant details. First, you have to write about the appellant, your name of the party, name of the taxpayer, GSTN number, address, nature of business, and everything. The next is the order or decision against appeal again. So any first appellate authority has given an order. You want to go for it, right? So before that, I was telling you about DRC 07, SMT 10, 11. So all those allegations of the show cause notice needs to be there. कि आपने क्या क्या नोटिस आया, SMT 10 आया, उसमें रिप्लाई क्या था 11 में, 12 में नहीं आया, फिर DRC 01 नहीं आया, फिर आपने क्या रिप्लाई किया, फिर 7 क्यों आया. So there is a proper sequence of notices should be there along with your reply and the order. Okay. Then you made SOF is statement of facts. So what are the facts as on date before the tribunal? Grounds of appeal is very important because in each ground you need to present a submission of your grounds and then only you can go with the matter. So any adjudication findings authority, your defense, मैंने बताया defense क्या, and there should be a prayer before your good self that you are praying for this impugned order to be get dismissed or maybe any kind of refund or anything matter. So all these are very important. So आप जब भी जा रहे हो ट्राइब्यूनल, तो आपको क्या लेना है, appellant का डिटेल्स रहना चाहिए, आपके पूरा सीक्वेंस ऑफ नोटिस फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट नोटिस दैट हैज बीन इशूड इन दिस मैटर, व्हाट वाज योर रिप्लाई, व्हाट वाज योर ऑर्डर, everything, your statement of facts, your grounds of appeal, your prayer, a paper book is presented. So this is this type of paper book, this is my tribunal method, this type of paper book needs to be presented before the tribunal so that you don't find key where are the documents are and everything. So it is a very proper place to have everything thing. So now this is some tips and tricks which I have prepared on my understanding of how to go. How suppose you have gone for a tribunal level and you have understand the rules and regulations, everything. So आपको कैसे prepare करके and how to present your case. So first, what happens a lot of times, we get a matter and we just directly jump into the conclusion of the matter कि इसमें tax ऐसा दिया है, इसको defense करना है, ये circular notification है. First, very important thing to understand the issue. What is the issue is all about? Suppose if I tell you, my dear friend, suppose the 1920 order last date was 31st December 2024. You have received an order on 5th January 2025, just for example, and you are going to tribunal level for this matter, right? And you have not understand the issue only that the time barred order cannot be issued by any authority, right? So you have to first see the minute details of any order copy, whether it is time barred or not, whether the jurisdiction office, suppose a superintendent passed an order of 1 CR to you. So superintendent has a limit of 20 lakh rupees. He cannot pass an order of 1 crore, right? So you need to check upon this facts as well, whether the order which has been issued is what you say is a merit, it does have merits on the technical grounds, right? So it is not an impugned order in terms of time barred or anything which has become out of the purview. So I understand the issue first. Okay. Identify the grounds of appeal. So what grounds you are going? So every ground needs a proper submission. Suppose you are going for a 3B or 2A matter, right? So you need to understand the ground. The circular 183, 27 December 2022 should be there. 193 extension of that should also be there. So understand and identify the grounds of appeal. Draft a compelling appeal petition. So you need to file an appeal petition. Now get yourself prepared for the hearing. Meet with the legal counsel, gather supporting documents. So what I'm trying to tell you, very important thing, a lot of time I've seen people representing matter in the GST cases. Suppose you are writing that Mr. A is a trader of scrap material and he is a registered party since 1st October 2020. So while you're putting this line, if you can just attach REG 06 certificate along with it so that it acts an evidence to that whatever you are saying, it becomes a weightage to that. So if you attach a certificate of GST registration that shows that it is October 2023 only and nothing else, right? So I think that present your matter in a very better way. Present your case effectively, counter argument. So a lot of times you have to argue in the court and matter what should be the right, what should be the wrong, right? And then only you can go ahead with the final decision. So the whole point of it is like understand the issue, prepare grounds of appeal, compile it, gather supporting documents, make sure your each and everything has been backed up by a proper legal evidence with your thing. Because in tribunal, what happens, my dear friends, is you get hardly 5 minutes or so to speak. And so in 5 minutes, the counter questions you need to represent that very effectively and get it done and all. So I think that's very important. So a very important checklist need to be followed. If suppose you're not following this checklist, which is represented in the right hand side of my slide, so your appeal will be known as a defective appeal and it will be getting back to you. And then again, you have to file a proper not defective appeal. So first is the cover page, index, GST April 05, prayer, statement of facts, grounds of appeal, power of attorney, certified copy of the order, pre-deposit, appeal filing fees, case history, which I was telling what was the notice in SMT 10, 11, 12, and order copy and everything. So all this should be followed duly. So this are very exhaustively. This should be the sequence of your paper book. Only then you can file an appeal in this matter. So what happens, suppose the tribunal gave you a hearing. Okay, you didn't appear for the hearing for the first time. It's okay. Second time you didn't appear, no worries. Third time it's adjourned. And only 3 adjournment is possible at the appellate tribunal. Not more than 3 adjournment will be granted to you. So first, second, and third, after that, they can record the order. A lot of times what happened, see, we have been seeing a lot of notices and order. आपका एक order था 3 lakhs का, गलती से order pass हो गया 30 lakhs का, right? So that is apparent on the record. You receive a order from a tribunal कि सर मेरा ये 30 लाख का order pass हो गया, मुझे क्या करना है? मुझे अभी हाई कोर्ट जाना है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाना है, where to go? So my dear friends, if any order has been passed by any appellate tribunal that is apparent on a record, error which is based on a record like 3 lakh की जगह 30 lakhs हो गया गलती से and everything. So within 3 months from the date of the order, the tribunal level can rectify the order. So you don't need to worry on the apparent record. And there is a time limit to conclude the appeal. Suppose, and this line I would read with you because it's a very, what do you say, it's a different funny type of line which they have mentioned in section 113 subsection 4. The appellate, suppose you have filed an appeal today. So appeal today we have filed 22nd October 2025, we filed a tribunal level. So the section says the appellate tribunal as far as possible, okay, hear and decide the verdict of every appeal within a period of 1 year from the date of which appeal is possible. So generally what they say कि हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि 1 साल में हम लोग वो ट्राइब्यूनल का लेवल का आपका ऑर्डर क्लोज कर दें. But my dear friends, it neither happened in the first appellate authority, neither at the tribunal it will be happening. आज आप appeal file करते हो, you'll get a hearing after 2 years, 3 years, because there are more than 7,40,000 cases pending in the appeal as on date. So it will be a big area for all the chartered accountants to practicing into GST to step dive and deep dive into this tribunal level. So there are few forms which I have mentioned. So I told you that आपका first appellate authority का negative order जो आता है वो adverse order that gets in APL 04. APL 05 में you need to file to the appellate tribunal. I told you about cross objections कि कोई भी department appeal देता है आपको cross object करना होता है कि मेरे साथ ऐसा नाइंसाफी ना करो. Then cross objection needs to file APL 06. Application अगर department जाता है तो वो APL 07 में करता है, फिर उसका acknowledgement होता है. And this is how the process is passed by. So APL 5 you have to remember कि APL 4 आता है order, उसके ऊपर में APL 5 में we have to go to the tribunal level. Okay. So while filing the tribunal thing, there are a few things very important to understand. That is the appeal should be done in paragraphs. If you see this full name, your parentage, your GSTN number, description of the parties, what should be the beginning and everything should be there. Okay, so I have mentioned 3 scenarios for you to understand. You received a single order copy for multiple issues. So आपने 4 मैटर था, suppose 2 मैटर था, suppose 1 3B का डिफरेंस, 2A 3B का डिफरेंस, राइट? आपने सिंगल ऑर्डर रिसीव किया है, तो क्या आपको एक अपील फाइल करना है या 2-3 अपील फाइल करना है? So there is one crux you have to understand. Only one appeal needs to be required, even if the order has been issued in multiple show cause notices. So you have received 2 show cause notice, but order is 1. So only one appeal needs to be filed. Clear on this? Suppose now there's a different problem. Multiple order and order, separate issue का separate order. 3B1 का भी difference का अलग से order दिया गया है, 2A3B का भी अलग से ऑर्डर दिया गया है. So 2 orders, 2 appeal needs to be filed. Suppose there are multiple person affected by one order. मैं भी affected हूँ किसी order से, LSG भी affected है किसी और order से, और एक ही matter है. So each person, मैं भी चाहूँगा अपील फाइल करने के लिए और LSG भी चाहेंगी अपील फाइल करना. दोनों ऑर्डर, दोनों अपील सेपरेटली फाइल होगा. Clear on this? Okay. So contents of the appeal में you have to keep grounds of appeal. I'm telling you, my dear friends, grounds of the real main part, because any way you go to a first appellate authority or the appellate tribunal, you need to be very particular with the grounds of appeal. It should be clearly listed, numbered, and proper on point. You cannot fool a person of a tribunal level because they have been hearing more than 10 to 12 matters every day, and it's very important to understand these things. So what happens, suppose you filed an appeal, ठीक है, ट्राइब्यूनल में चले गए, अचानक से गवर्नमेंट का नोटिफिकेशन आया कि 3B2 में सबको पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा. देयर इज नथिंग डिफरेंस टू इट. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू वन एग्जांपल सो दैट वी कैन ऑन द सेम पेज. सो आपको लगता है, क्लाइंट ने बोला सर अब तो पेमेंट करना ही पड़ेगा, ट्राइब्यूनल में क्यों जाना, लेट्स विड्रॉ द अपील. सो यू कैन विड्रॉ द अपील. Suppose you filed APL 05, you can withdraw the appeal by filing an application APL 05W. W means withdrawal. But suppose in case you have filed an appeal and the appellate tribunal acknowledge your appeal, acknowledgement होता है APL 02 की वजह से. So APL 01 फाइल किया, APL 02 आ गया, ठीक है, एक्नॉलेज हो गया, तब आप विड्रॉ करने जाएंगे. सो यू हैव टू गेट अ विड्रॉवल एप्लीकेशन विद अ स्पेशल परमिशन ऑफ appellate ट्राइब्यूनल. ओनली देन यू कैन विड्रॉ दैट एप्लीकेशन. ओके, अगर APL 2 नहीं आया तो विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं संग से, बट अगर APL 02 एक्नॉलेज हो गया तो आपको 15 डेज के अंदर में वो लोग विड्रॉ करने का टाइम देता है. Okay, so these are the recovery guidelines and all. Suppose, my dear friends, if you have received any adverse order of first appellate authority and you want to go to the tribunal, but you don't know how to file and how to go ahead with it because pretty long time right now. So you need to pay 10% of pre-deposit from services, ledgers, and payment towards demand. Okay, so that the recovery proceedings does not happen, and then you have to write a letter in this format. I have been enclosing this format as well, but you have to mention that. सपोज आपने अपीलेट अपील अथॉरिटी का, फर्स्ट अपीलेट अथॉरिटी का ऑर्डर आया है और आप सोच रहे हैं कि सर मुझे ट्राइब्यूनल में जाना है और रिकवरी चालू होने वाला है. सो आप 10% प्री डिपॉजिट करिए और अपने जुरिस्डिक्शनल ऑफिसर को ये एक लेटर लिख कर उसमें प्री डिपॉजिट का अमाउंट डाल के उनको भेजिए कि सर वी आर गोइंग फॉर द ट्राइब्यूनल व्हेन हमारा जब अपील चालू होगा ट्राइब्यूनल लेवल को. सो आपका रिकवरी सेक्शन 79 में आगे नहीं करेंगे. Okay, now this is something which has just come recently in like a couple of days back. That is, they have mentioned the appeal to be filed. So क्या हो रहा था कि काफ़ी सारा अपील, मैंने बोला कि around 7 लाख अपील्स are pending for tribunal level. So एक साथ अगर अपील फाइल करेंगे तो GST portal will go for a toss, which is already there, right? तो ये कोलैप्स ना करे. सो कोई भी ऑर्डर अगर पास होता है 1 जुलाई 17 से 31 जनवरी 22 तक, सो अपील आपको फाइल करना है 24 फरवरी 25 से लेकर 31 अक्टूबर 25 तक, राइट? एंड कट ऑफ डेट इज 30 जून 2026. सो एनी ऑर्डर इशूड अप टू 31 मार्च 2026 नीड्स टू बी फाइल्ड 30 जून. इसके बाद कोई भी ऑर्डर आएगा आपको विद इन 3 मंथ्स फाइल करना है. एडजर्नमेंट आपको प्लस 3 मंथ्स का मिलेगा. So very important, this should be with you anytime because it's a very important. They have mentioned, because right now I was trying to get a file and appeal for my client which has get a notice on 1st March 23. So the portal is not allowing because 1st December 25 आने में टाइम है, right? So इसके बाद ही आप उसको अपील फाइल कर सकते हो. So ये टाइम पे आपका ये खुला रहेगा एंड 30 जून तक लास्ट रहेगा. अगर आपने मान लीजिए इस टाइम पे मिस कर दिया 1 जुलाई का, 24 से लेकर 31 अक्टूबर तक मिस कर दिया, तो 30 जून के पहले तक आपको फाइल करना है. So it's very important to understand that this should be duly followed. Okay, so I think I have only for like 10 minutes now for this to start. So we are coming to the next slide, which is actually the user manual, how to file an appeal at tribunal. मतलब कैसे login करना है, कैसे register करना है. It will be a quick thing because this is something which is completely into like what you say hand holding thing. आपको करना पड़ेगा और आपको सीखना पड़ेगा कि how to deal with the portal. So I presented in the way of a screenshots कि जब मैं कर रहा था screenshots लेकर कि कैसे हो सकता है नहीं हो सकता है. So you have to understand this dynamics as well. So what we have covered is the procedure part, कुछ rules and regulations, कैसे अगर अभी ट्राइब्यूनल नहीं खुला है तो 10% प्री डिपॉजिट करना है, लेटर देना है. सो हमने वो सब सीखा. अब हम लोग मैनुअल फाइलिंग सीखेंगे. सो GST8 पोर्टल लुक्स लाइक दिस. सो ई फाइलिंग यूजर मैनुअल है, वीडियोज है और e-filing template है, presidential order है. Suppose you have to go for an, आप अपील को फाइल करना चाहते हो, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, EIRN नंबर डालना पड़ेगा अपने क्लाइंट का. EIRN नंबर कहाँ मिलेगा, APL 01 के कॉपी में मिलेगा आपको. You put an EIRN number, put the right captcha, get it submit, आपका इस तरह से खुल जाता है. You are a practicing chartered accountant, so first you have to register yourself. Only then, only one time registration you have to do, because after that only you can able to do your things, right? Before that you cannot be able to file anything. So now this is important to understand that once you register yourself, register आप करते हैं, उसके लिए you need either can be 4%, either be a taxpayer, tax official, authorized advocate, or any other. So आप एक बार register करते, you have to put your details like name, mobile number, and everything. Register yourself, and after that you can file an appeal. So once you start filing an appeal as a taxpayer, suppose मैंने अभी दिखा रहा हूँ taxpayer के लिए कैसे file होगा. Taxpayer का you have to put GST number, login ID, capture, all the details will be coming up. PIN code, address, and designation will be coming up there. The state level, central का मैटर है, विच jurisdiction था, दिल्ली में था, कलकत्ता में था, असम में था, कौन सा appellate authority है, it will be coming. You are representing as an advocate, chartered accountant, you need to put your membership number as well, and then you can go ahead with it. So while using this as a thing, you need to file some documents, like upload your file, right? You have to upload your document list, order copy, and everything, and then only you can go ahead with the filing of the appeal. So once you register yourself as a chartered accountant or as a tax practitioner or anything, then only you can welcome to your GST Appellate Tribunal, where your number and mobile number will be there. So now after doing the registration part, you need to log in with your, like हम लोग Facebook, Instagram में log in करते हैं, वैसे आपको credentials दे देगा. While login, and the first thing will come, we hereby declare this is your first appeal and point order, and we have not previously filed any appeal or writ petition before High Court. So any matter you are going for this appellate authority or appellate tribunal, make sure that matter has not been pending before a High Court or a Supreme Court or any authority before, because if that matter is already pending before any authority, that appeal cannot be filed and it will be bad in law. So after you putting ARN number, they have to submit, confirm. So there are 3 acts: CGST, SGST, and IGST, in which act your matter is pending, and you need to. This is the first time in GST that was not happening in GSTAT, that you have to mention the section number, subsection number, rule, किसमें आपको जाना है, so that what happens कि the officer is also learned at that point of time कि अच्छा section 169 का matter है, section 73 का matter or something like that sort of. Then there is a brief thing, you needs to put grounds of appeal in 2000 words. But suppose your ground of appeal is more than 5000 words, you can add a PDF document to that. And then this is, you can see the above details. Order details are there. What are the order details of APL 04? Your basic details like your GST number, everything. Your case details, statement of facts, and everything. Appellant details, respondent, representative of tax, chartered accountant. So if a client is telling कि sir मैं portal में login करूँगा, मैं आपको chartered accountant as add करूँगा, so you will put my membership number, and there is a called AIBE number. So once you register as a chartered accountant or advocate, you get an AIBE number for that. So representative, you add demand card details, documents, and everything. Then you can save and go ahead with it. And this is, suppose this is very important. So what happens ki APL 4, when you get a copy of APL 4, that is a first appellate authority का order copy. So you have to put every amount like this. यहाँ पे amount डालना पड़ेगा कि ऐसा ऐसा है, and then you have to pay 10% of pre-deposit. So you have to fill this thing as well, and you have to go with the filing. So they have a lot of questions they have asked, like has the order appeal against you have signed. So every document needs to be signed by the your legal authorized representative, or maybe the person who are filing the appeal. So you have to just, we can see the point, question number 3, has the issues under dispute been clearly stated in the present appeal. So you have to say yes, no, you have to particularly answer yes, no, and everything. Only after filling this 24 questions, then only you'll be able to file 29 questions, only then you'll be able to file this appeal. So before submission, the appeal looks like this: appeal to appellate tribunal, everything you have, what you have filled, like order and everything, it presents like this. And this is how the workflow system begins. And there you go for the filing of the appeal in this matter. I think I'm on time, and any questions regarding this appellate tribunal, let me know. And that's it from my end. I think it was something which was a roller coaster for all of you guys, but I think 1 hour is not that enough to go for a tribunal each and every route, because it's a very holistic approach. But my heartfelt thanks to Rashi for being the coordinator, and my dear friend Alice for coming as a special addressee and being on board with this for the appellate tribunal. I hope you guys had a good tribunal roller coaster ride with it. And over to you, Rashi and Alice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll just if anybody has any questions, they could just type it in the chat box.
No, we don't see any questions.
Since there are no questions, I think we should just end the session here. So on behalf of all present here, I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to CA Rohit Prasad and CA Alice Singh for their enlightening and engaging session. Both of you shared valuable insights on the crucial aspects of GST litigation compliance and the way forward for the GST Appellate Tribunal. Your expertise and practical perspectives have truly deepened our understanding of the subject. So we sincerely appreciate the time and effort you both took out to be with us today and sharing your rich professional expertise with such clarity and passion. Thank you, both of you, for such an enriching session.
Thank you, Rashi, so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rohit. It was really an insightful session for me as well. Great presentation. I think it will be really helpful for all the professionals out there going for practice. So since we are the pillars of the nation in building, so
Yeah.
great work. And thank you EIRC team and Rohit and Rashi as well.
Thank you so much
ma'am.
for coming with us on the special addressee, and you're working in Big Four, so it's always been an honor to have a Big Four person in front of us so that we can have a better deliberation, so that we can excel to that level as well. Thank you so much.